Let me show you what it is, right?
Hey guys! So that was What It Is Right Now, remix by Flipmo Squad with Busta Rhymes, Raw Digga, who else is in it? Spliff Star, Baby Charm, Rampage, yeah, so, and some more others, but that was Flipmo Squad. So I'm back with another video. It's been a minute. It's so cold out here. It's cold outside. We're having a cold spell, so I'm kind of struggling right now, but we are back. I am back. I'm back. So I just want to give you all an update on what's been going on with my series. It's starting to take off. So I'm on my book tour. I have a lot of events coming up. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's overwhelming because I am blessed and I'm glad that I have events, but at the same time, you know how it is. I'm an introvert slash extrovert, so sometimes I want to be by myself, other times I'm like, hey, what up, where the party at, like, Jagged Edge, but it's about balance, right? So yeah, this video is going to be about my series, or updates about my series, and then also I'm just going to talk about some things that's been going on in this country, in this world, more specifically this country, the good old United States of America. So anyway, now, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. I know that was on Monday, but yeah, so happy Indigenous Peoples Day. I was saying a long time ago they need to, replace that. And no disrespect, like I love the Italian culture. Like, I love to cook, right? So my favorite cuisine is Italian. Well, one of my favorite cuisines is Italian. So no disrespect to the Italian people, but I will say this: Christopher Columbus, what he did was horrible. It was horrific what he did in the Caribbean, on several Caribbean islands. It was horrific, and that paved the way actually for the for slavery in the in the North America, in the United States of America. So he did. I don't think he stepped foot on the on North America, but he did what he did though in the Caribbean. He helped orchestrate that, like his actions. Pretty much, paved the way for slavery as we know it in America. So, but anyway, so happy Indigenous Peoples Day. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah. So first, I just want to talk about my series. So for those of you that are new to my channel, please like and subscribe. I'll be talking everything from fitness to books to movies to shows, to music, to events in life. It'll be an awesome channel, right? So I'll be posting maybe like once a week. I'm gonna be consistent now. It's just I've been so busy. But it'll be like once a week. So please like and subscribe. And if, let's say worst case scenario, it'll be like maybe once every 2 weeks. But it'll be often, right? So please like and subscribe to my channel. So this is, so I am an author and illustrator. I do make music as well. I play the piano. I'm an overall artist, so I don't limit myself. I don't want others to limit me. I know people keep asking, when are you going to write your next book? And I'm like, and no disrespect, like, I mean, I get it, right? But at the same time, like, I have other creative, I'm a creative person, right? So I'm not limited to just writing. So I do music, I do acting. I'm about to get started back into acting. I have acted before in several plays. I play the piano right now. I'm learning the piano. I play it. I make music. I make beats. So I'm getting into composing as well. So yeah, I don't limit. And I'm also a drawing artist as well. So I've been doing that as well lately. So getting back into that. Like I said in my previous videos, I was getting back into drawing. So yeah, I'm not just a writer. I'm also an overall artist. So, but in any event, this is my book. This is The Music Man. I did illustrate the first book, the cover. So I illustrated The Music Man, Jimmy, and the piano. It looks like, so when you go to, if you buy it, it's when you look at the page, and I'll post the link in the description below. It's available on Audible, paperback, and Kindle as well. So this looks like they're in an going to another dimension. So that's the Music Man, that's Jimmy, that's the piano, and then those are stars that you see in the background. That's what they're supposed to be. So it pretty much shows that they're playing the piano going to another dimension. So this is a series that I created all from my head. I've been influenced by Harry Potter, Chronicles of Narnia, anything that has to do with fantasy and witches and whatnot. I love horror, so I love scary stuff. So there are some scary scenes in my series. So if you're getting it for your teens, if they can handle Harry Potter and the movie It and other movies along those lines, they should be able to handle my series. It does not get too scary. It's more so, I would say it's more so of the lines of Harry Potter. So if they can handle Harry Potter, they'll be able to handle my series. So yeah, but this is the Music Man. So I'll just read the synopsis really quick. So this fantasy novel is about an epic adventure where a young boy named Jimmy meets someone extraordinary, Cornelius. He shares the same love for music as him. Cornelius introduces Jimmy to the piano that's in his attic, and from there they travel to a magical dimension where Jimmy's life will forever be changed. So pretty much, long story short, well, the synopsis is that they play the piano and they go to another dimension. Now, this series is like the first book is more slow building, like it builds the characters, it builds the plot, and then it goes into the action and everything. The second one immediately takes off where the third one, or where the first one leaves off. This one is called The Music Man Other Dimensions. Now, this one is very sci-fi intense. It has more sci-fi in it. So if you're a sci-fi fan, you'll love this one. You'll like this one too, but this one is more, I would say, fantasy thriller and horror, and this one is more sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. It's the same elements, but with more sci-fi in this one. And then the third one is The Music Man Hidden Portals, and that one is also really sci-fi. It's the same as the second one as far as the sci-fi in it. And then, but it also has fantasy and horror. Now, the second one, I did illustrate the cover as well. That's the violin she's playing or holding, and then that's a harmonian, which is a character that I created in the series. So again, this is book 1, this is book 2, and then this is book 3, and this is the entire series. You want to start off with book 1, of course, and then go to book 2 and book 3. Now, in the other dimension, there's a composer who's trying to possess people through music. So that's where the horror comes into play. So it does deal with that, deals with possession a little bit. It's not too dark. I would say the genre for my series is urban fantasy, dark fantasy, along those lines. So yeah. It took me, I started writing my book, the first book, in 2014. Oh yeah, real quick, because people keep bringing this movie up. The movie Soul has no bearing whatsoever, or no influence whatsoever on my book or series, The Music Man. My book was already out before Soul was even out. My book was, the first book, The Music Man, was released, so this book right here, if I can get to it, this book right here was released in 2018, so Soul wasn't even out yet. I had never even heard about Soul until I think March of last year, when I watched the trailer for it, and that's only because my child brought up the trailer on the TV. Other than that, I knew nothing about it. So this is totally from my brain, right? So Soul has no influence whatsoever on my series. My book had already been out. It was already on library shelves before that movie Soul came out. So yeah, this is book 1 of the series, and yeah, so it took me it took me 3 years to write the first one, and then I published it in 2018. I started writing in 2014, and then in 2019, so right after I published the first one, I wrote the second one, like right after, and then that one came out a year later, so I want to say September of 2019, and then the third book, The Music Man Hidden Portals, came out in March of this year, so a little over a year and 6 months, but yeah, so yeah, I think I'm done with writing for a while. I mean, I do write poetry, just to keep myself sane, but as far as like writing a book, I'm thinking I'm taking a break. Now, don't get me wrong, I do get ideas, because I watch movies and shows all the time, and I get ideas. I'm like, maybe I should make up another story. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, guys, yeah. So like I said, I'm on a book tour. I've been having book events. And real quick, for all you aspiring authors out there, or if you are an author, you just gotta keep pushing. My last 2 events, my book sold out like in each event. The first book, well, the first event, it did not sell out, but it was close to selling out. I just left early, but I had like maybe 4 or 5 books left in my inventory, so I pretty much sold out. In the second event, the second and third events, I have sold out all my books. So, yeah, you gotta pretty much, you gotta stay focused. You gotta keep going. I know it's rough, it's hard, especially as an indie author, but you have to keep going, because if you give up, you'll never know what it'll become. You may even have to move. I say this to people, like, don't let anybody stop you from achieving your dreams. And I hate to talk about this, but as an African American author myself, we do run into a lot of racism. I run into sexism as a woman, and so, like, this one guy has said to me, you can never tell a person, when I told him that I was the author of this series, and I'm like, that was kind of, and it's like, what is that supposed to mean? So, I mean, we face a lot of adversity, but you gotta overcome it, you gotta rise above it. Another thing too, though, is like, the thing with with black authors and black creators in general, like, this, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So, what's his name, John Gruden, the one who, the Raiders coach, his name John Gruden, so all of this stuff that's happening, I mean, it's been happening. It's just that people aren't letting it get away. People aren't letting people get away with it now. Yeah, John Gruden. So, what he did was he started off, that happened last Friday. I remember listening to that, finding out about that on Friday, that what he said about a football executive, about his lips, and I'm like, I think he was an executive, but he's in the football league, but, in the NFL, and I'm like, what goes in the dark comes out to light, all of this stuff is coming out, and is crazy. And so what I'm trying to say is, if you are okay, let's just say you're not of color, right? So you're not of a person of color, and you are for this society moving forward, and there being no racism and whatnot, to like stop people from achieving their dreams, or people getting killed because of the color of their skin, just whatever it may be, or just violence in general, whatever it may be, right? Or discrimination. So if you are for that, then you should probably start, or if you haven't already, start supporting work of people of color. So if support your African American authors, support African American authors, support authors who are of color, because that's the only way. Because you can't say Black Lives Matter, or you can't say, we're with you, if you're not supporting our work either. Like, because to me, I feel like, and don't just get one book, if it, like, for instance, like, mine's a series, right? So don't just get book 1 and then be like, oh, I bought it. Okay. No, actually read my work, right? Read the work, and then if you like my first book, which you more than likely will, get the second book, right? And then get the third book. So, because and I'm not saying that this is, well, I don't know, like, here's my thing. I've noticed when people, they buy, like, maybe one book, and then they just don't, like, get the second one. Now, and this is some people, because others do get all 3. So, and I don't know if it's correlated to that. I do know that sometimes people get distracted, and they, like, I know with me, when I start reading a series, like, and I won't even know it's a series sometimes, and it'll take me forever to read the first book, unless I'm, like, really, really focused, right? And so I get it. Trust me, we have busy lives. Some of us are parents, some of us are married, some of us are, have full-time jobs, you know what I mean? So I do get it. Trust me, I understand. So for those situations, I understand. I'm talking about the people that are like, oh, and this is pertaining to this specific situation, not people that are avid readers and that don't discriminate when they buy books from, different authors that don't look like them. I'm talking about the ones who, are like, okay, I'm going to support an African American author. I'm talking about the people that do this, where they buy one book, they don't bother to read it, so in their conscience they're like, oh, I just bought this book. And I'm sorry, this is a touchy subject, but it is something that needs to be addressed. So they buy the one book and they're like, oh, okay, I bought it because, she's African American, I want to support an African American author. Well, actually read the book, right? And then buy the second one if you like it. Don't just buy it and don't read it, because that doesn't help. You know what I mean? It doesn't really help me as far as my series getting, so where it needs to be. So definitely, if you're gonna support us authors, please read our work. It's the same with movies. Obviously, now the thing with the movie, it's easier because if more than likely if you buy a movie, you're gonna watch that movie right then and there, right? Otherwise, you know what I mean? So for the most part, so because everything's digital nowadays, so yeah. But like with books, if you're out there supporting, or it could be an indie authors as well, read our work, and just, read our messages, because you may learn something about us. And it's not just about, and that's the thing too, I write in a way that is, yes, most of the characters are, they're Black European, so they're Afro-European, so yes, but at the same time though, it is a diverse series, so it's not just Afro-European, it's many ethnicities in my series, so yeah, so that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, we have to read each other's work, but I just wanted to say that. So the thing with John Gruden, I'm glad that it happened. It's funny how you can play for a person, you can, eat dinner with a person, and they might not even like you. Like, it's so crazy. And so I'm glad that all of this stuff is coming out, because it's not okay. We should not be discriminating. It's not okay to discriminate. If someone wants to be, if someone wants to have a specific orientation, then that's their choice, right? No one should be discriminated against or talked about even, so I just want to say that. Now, again, okay, so with this COVID situation, so I do want to address this. So with Howie Urban. So for those of you who know that I love basketball, I love sports, I love basketball, I love football. That's how I found out about the John Gruden thing. I love football, I love basketball, I love track and field, I love swimming, I love, what else do I like? I think gymnastics, I love gymnastics. So yeah, so I'm a sports fan. So Howie Urban is my favorite basketball player. Okay, he's been my favorite basketball player since, I want to say, 2012, 2013. Now here's the thing with Howie Urban. So this virus, I get, is dangerous. It can be. People have passed away that I know they have passed away. So how do I say this? People are saying that he needs to take one for the team. He needs to be a team player. So here's my thing with this. And I'm not anti-vaccine. Not at all. I love science. My major in college was biology for a while. I was pre-med for a while. So absolutely, I love science. Whenever the whenever the flu season comes around, I most of the time get the vaccine now, or the shot. So here's the thing with this. Just because you don't want to put something in your body does not mean that you're totally against what it's trying to do, or you're against, not helping others or whatever. But here's the thing though, it's your body, right? So, and I feel like this has become so divisive. Like, COVID has become so divisive. And it's almost like if you are, not wanting to put it in your body, that you're like being outcasted pretty much. It's very disturbing. And so the point that I'm trying to make is that, Howie Urban, he's a healthy, outside of the injuries, he's a healthy young man, right? He works out all the time, I'm assuming. I hope he eats healthy. I don't know, it's none of my business, but it's his business, right? It's his business what he does with his body. And so the point that I'm trying to make is that, like, from the employers to, I get the healthcare industry because you're working around patients and stuff. I get that doctors and nurses need to be having the vaccine because I understand, trust me, I do understand that, because you can probably, pass it on to another patient who may be already sick. Like, I get all of that. But when employers are starting to make their employees get the vaccine just because, that kind of, it's concerning, because I feel like this is starting to become like tyrannical. Like, I feel like people aren't having a choice now, because like in New York, they're saying, well, if you want to enter this restaurant, this establishment, you have to show your vaccine card. And so I feel like it's becoming more about control, like, or maybe fear. I think people are just really scared, and I feel like, there's not enough talk about boosting up your immunity. There's not enough talk about, exercising, eating healthy, taking vitamins, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. It's just vaccine. And that's the part that disturbs me, because I could see if you are doing what you need to do, and you still get sick, like, you know what I mean, as far as, like, I know people, and it hits people differently, obviously if you have a compromised immune system, then yes, get the vaccine, that's a no-brainer, right? But like, again, it's your decision, right? It's your decision what you want to do. And so for those who may not have compromised immune systems, I don't feel they should be forced or have anything taken away from them, any privileges taken away from them, just because they don't want to take the vaccine. I just find it very disturbing, because at the end of the day, you are putting something in your body. I get it. I get the argument, like, okay, you got to protect others around you. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, that's like, right, like, for instance, that's like if I have a cousin, right, and I go to her, she has the vaccine, right, and I'm like, well, I'm not getting the vaccine, and so the vaccine protects you from possibly dying, right? It boosts up your chance of you not dying. And so if at the end of the day, you are putting the vaccine in your body, right? It's not your cousin's body it's your body. You may have good intentions of protecting them from you, or you from them, whatever it may be, but at the end of the day, you are putting it in your own body, not theirs, right? So it's not going in their body, you know what I mean? Like, it's going in your body. And so that's why some people have reservations, because they're like, well, and so I get it. And some people may have adverse effects to the vaccine and whatnot, and so, I mean, all of this is just, it's disturbing. It's disturbing. So I just feel like, I personally feel that all of this is becoming too divisive. It's becoming political. It has been political this whole time, but it's becoming so divisive, and it's almost like people don't have, like with the flu shot, right? With the flu shot, people had choices. They're like, okay, either you get it or you don't, and then people mentioned, well, if you want to enroll your kid at school, they have to have certain vaccines. I get that, but these vaccines as well have been around for so long, and so people are more trusting of that vaccine. So what's happening now is that because this vaccine has just rolled out this year, some people are very skeptical, and I understand both sides. But at the end of the day, it should be the person's choice. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not against the vaccine. I love science. I'm for this pandemic ending, for us to move on from this. This is craziness. I mean, it's unhealthy, but at the end of the day, though, I do feel like some leaders are taking it a little bit overboard. There are some countries still that have curfews. Yeah, there's some countries that still have curfews, and some countries that I think are still in lockdown. Like, it's disturbing. And so, I mean, because if you look at the small business owners, and I'm a business owner, right? And so I feel like, business owners, we're the ones being affected the most, because these corporations are getting paid. They're getting paid regardless. But the small businesses, I've seen so many small businesses shut down because of this virus. It's crazy. And just imagine the countries that are having full lockdowns where you can't even leave your house unless you're going to go to a store to get medical, supplies or whatever, or things like that. And so it's like, prescriptions. It's like, what? I mean, this is, and so it's craziness. It's absolute craziness. So, and I get it. This virus is deadly. I understand. I've lost people to it, and so I get the fear. But at the same time, though, I feel like I know people that have not passed away either. I had COVID last year. I had COVID. It sucked. It really did. It sucked. I felt sick for like a week. I drank a lot of tea. I drank a lot of water. I had Vicks Vapor Rub. Like I kept putting that, on my chest. I just rested, But I eventually came out of it like within a week. And I kept taking like I think emergency or something like that. I took some zinc. I just drank a lot of tea. I drank a lot of green tea, herbal tea. Ate a lot of soup. Like, I took care of myself, right? And this is not to say that people that have passed away weren't taking care of it. But the thing, what I'm trying to say, and I wasn't, you know what, it's funny because at that time when I did get it, I wasn't even exercising on a regular basis. That's the crazy thing. I wasn't even exercising on a regular basis. And I had weighed a lot more then. And so, I mean, that's what the crazy thing about all this is. So it's like, it could hit people differently. And so, I get it. But, like, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say about all of this. I don't know what to say. Because now they're trying to say that it's starting to wear off for certain strain. I don't know. It's craziness. Anyway. So, I just feel like this is becoming too divisive. I've seen where people are like, well, you can't be around me if you're not vaccinated. I mean, it's just craziness. And I'm like, but if you're vaccinated, what is the problem? Nobody can answer that for me. Nobody can answer that for me. I don't understand. Some people say, well, it's because it stops it from getting new strains and whatnot. I get that. But still, I'm like, if you're vaccinated, though, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I'm going to do some more. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some more research and look into this a lot more. Because I have to actually make that decision for my child whether or not he's going to get vaccinated, because they're going to start approving these vaccines for children. So I'm going to look into it, and I don't mess around with my kid. I don't mess around with the health of my kid. So I'm definitely going to do some research. And like I said, I am for science. I love science. I love sci-fi, right? Like, I love science. I love advancement. I love advancement of society and whatnot, especially in the medical field. With cancer, the cure for cancer, heart disease, all that stuff. So, trust me, diabetes. I absolutely am for science. So don't get it twisted. But I can still see the hesitancy from other people that are like, I don't want that back. I get it. I get all of it. So I just feel like we need to be more receptive as a society as to why people are not wanting to get it. Instead of just saying, oh, you're selfish for not getting, like, come on. I would think that you would care what you put in your body. I mean, I would hope. Just because someone tells you to do something doesn't mean you should do it. You should absolutely do your own research and then see if that's something you should do for you. Don't be pressured into getting something. You know what I mean? Like, that's peer pressure. That's crazy. That's what we teach our kids not to, partake in, is in peer pressure. So, I get why people are not wanting to take it. So, and that's their business, right? That's their prerogative. So yeah, anyway, moving forward. So I just wanted to say that about the vaccine, because, like, I don't want people to be like, oh, she's anti-vax. No, I'm not anti-vax. I just personally see both sides of all arguments of the. Do I think it's a controlled experiment? No. With the conspiracy theories, I don't believe that. Now, I will say that slavery happened how many years? The Atlantic slave trade happened how many years? I'm thinking of atrocities that happened in human history. So the Holocaust, so what I'm trying to say is, there have been horrible times in history. Everything from slavery to, the Holocaust was horrible. And slavery, I know, happened way before like in biblical days, whatever your religion or beliefs are. It's been happening since probably the beginning of time. I get that. And so what I'm trying to say though is that I mean, we watched a man get murdered in broad daylight, George Floyd. And so what I'm trying to say is it would not be far-fetched if there was some sinister plot behind this. Now, do I think that there is? I don't know. I hope not. But it would not be far-fetched to think that because of all the stuff that's happened in human history. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I mean, look at America. Look at America. You know, African Americans in a whole, as a whole, we still face discrimination. We still face racism just because of the color of our skin. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, is what I'm trying to say. I hope that's not the case, but I wouldn't be surprised either if that was the case, because so much has happened over the years since humans have been alive, or since humans have set foot on this earth, right? Or have been born on this earth. And the funny thing about all this, with all this racism stuff, life started on the continent of Africa. That's the funny thing to me. It's hilarious. It's like life started on the continent of Africa. What is the problem? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's almost like somebody, I don't know if someone down the, like, in the very beginning of time, or not time, but when they first discovered, like, I mean, I've been doing my research on it, and so they used to, like, some scholars used to say that stuff was like in the sub-Saharan, like, inventions were not actually invented in the sub-Saharan. It was invented in, like, Egypt and stuff. It was like northern Africa. And I mean, it was weird, right? How they would, like, not give credit to people that had darker skin in sub-Saharan. Like, it's weird. And so I don't know how all this started. Like, it's crazy. It's very strange. And, like, the funny thing about all this is that life started in Africa. So I'm confused. Anyway. You would think that we would be like, we would maybe, like, have respect for the people, the indigenous that live on that continent. You would think that, but I don't know. It's very strange, very odd, very odd. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everyone is like this. Not everybody's racist. I know a lot of people that are good-hearted, that don't care what color you are. They recognize your color, but they don't care. They're not going to be like, oh, you know, you don't deserve this because you're that color, or I think that I'm better than you because I'm this color, or what's another thing, or that I'm not gonna be friends with you because you know, stuff like that. Like, I know people that are not like that, you know, that look at you and they think that if you're a good person, you're cool, right? So anyway, and that's how I am to people. Like, I don't care what color you are. I don't care. As long as you're a good person, as long as you have good vibes, right? I don't care. And as long as you don't try to impress me in a certain way, or, you know what I mean, act weird and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, moving on. So that's all I want to say about that. Moving forward, so I have lost a lot of weight. I'm back. I have, like, maybe, I think 30. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. I have 40 pounds left, so I'm getting there. Guys. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I'm excited. I'm happy. So just, you know, exercising every day or 4 or 5 times a week, eating healthy. Yeah, just being positive, meditating. I love to meditate. I'm telling you guys, like, if you guys do not meditate, please do, because yoga, affirming chants, self-affirming chants, things like that, they really are, they do something for your soul. You know, drawing even helps. Like, when I draw and stuff, like, I love it. Oh, and I'll also post my art gallery, my online art gallery, in the description below. I'm gonna start uploading. I've been working on my grandmother. I've been working on Chadwick Boseman, rest in power. I've been working on DMX, and so I'm starting to, like, get some pieces out, and I'm gonna start posting them on the art gallery. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. You can subscribe to that as well. And so yeah, guys, we gotta hang in there. We have to hang in there as a race. I know this is all, it's kind of scary when you look at everything that's going, like, what in the world? But that's what I'm saying. Meditation helps because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you in a positive mindset, especially with exercise. And let's just hope that there's no sinister plot behind all this, because otherwise stuff is gonna get real. And my series is somewhat it addresses like dystopia stuff a little bit, but apocalyptic stuff I should say, just a little bit, but and dystopian stuff. But yeah, hopefully this is not the case. Let's just pray. All we can do is pray, right? All we can do. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you believe in a rock. I don't care if you believe in a chair. Whatever your religion or whatever you believe in, and maybe you don't believe in anything. Maybe you just want to be positive. But at the end of the day, we have to stay positive. We have to do that. So hopefully there's nothing going on with all of this. There's no sinister plot. And now we can just move forward, hopefully. So let's just hope for the best. But yeah, guys, this is it for this video. I'm gonna post some more within a week or two. I've been watching The Expanse lately. That's my show. I love it. I'm on season 2, so I'm getting there. It's a very good series if you like sci-fi. What else have I been watching? I have been watching I love anime, so I recently watched the Squid Games. That was really good. I liked it for the most part. I like the Squid Games. I recommend that. I am watching Alice in Borderland. That's another good one. It's not an anime, but it does take place, I think, I don't want to get the countries mixed up. Does it take place in Japan? I think it takes place in Japan. Yeah. So it's a really good good show. That's a good one. What else have I been watching? I've been so busy, so I haven't been really watching a lot of stuff, but that's a good one. So yeah, guys. What else? I did complete something just recently, I think. Hold on. Was it Squid Games? I think it was Squid Games. I thought I completed something else. Yeah, it was Squid Games, because I finished that, I binge watched that one in a day. Sometimes I just binge watch stuff, it's like if I have nothing really going on, if I want to take a break from society and life, I just binge watch some stuff for a day. And that's what I did with Squid Games. But yeah, so that's it for this video. This one's a little shorter, so I'm trying to get my videos down underneath an hour, because I don't want people to be like, oh my gosh, this is too long. So I just want to say that. So yeah, I'll post some more videos here soon, maybe in a week or two. Yeah. Happy Halloween if you all celebrate Halloween. Oh, if you like fantasy and horror, if you like fantasy and scary stuff, read my series, The Music Man, Other Dimensions, The Music Man Hidden Portals. It has sci-fi, fantasy, horror, mystery. What else does it have? Action. It has action. But it is fantasy and horror for the most part, with some sci-fi in it, and it's amazing, and it's centered around music. It hasn't been done before. Read the series. It's spooky too at some point, so if you for those of all you Halloween lovers, I love Halloween. I don't care. I love scary movies. I love scary shows. I'm so happy that they're making a new Scream. Halloween Kills is coming out. Hey, I am a horror buff. I will be the proud one to say it. I've watched most horror movies. I love horror. So, yeah. For those of you that like horror, that like scary, spooky, if you want to be spooked out, read my series. You'll like it. So, yeah. Alright, I'm out. Be safe, everybody. Oh, yeah, I'll post a link of my series in the description below. Yeah. And I think that's all I want to say. What else I want to say? I think that's it. Oh yeah, my series, so the age group, I would say if they can handle Harry Potter, so I would say if your teen is maybe 11 and up, or preteen, if they're 11 and up, they should be able to handle this. And it also depends on what they like. If they like scary stuff, then they'll be able to handle it. If they really don't like scary stuff, I would not recommend it. So let's just say they don't like anything scary, don't read my book, because there are some scenes that get kind of spooky. So yeah. But if they like horror, if they like scary things or spooky stuff, then and fantasy, then my series is for them. All right. So support your Black authors, support your authors of color. We exist. We exist. We're here. We out here. A lot more of us are actually out here. So and becoming out here. So it's great. It's great. So yeah, support diversity, diverse books, diverse. Yeah. So all right, I'm out.